Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hard Truth Podcast. So today I'm asking a question that's going to challenge you and maybe make you a little uncomfortable. Is God okay with you or is he pleased with you? So most of us live thinking I'm good with God, I go to church, I don't do anything bad, but here's the truth. Being okay with God and being pleasing to him are two completely different things. Let's talk about the difference. So the first verse I want to unpack is Hebrews 11:6. Without faith, it's impossible to please God because anyone who comes to Him must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. So, this was written to the early Christian Jews who were under pressure, tempted to give up their faith. The author reminds them that God isn't impressed by rituals or appearances. What moves His heart is faith. So the Greek word used here for please is euraisteo. It means to bring satisfaction or delight through relationship. So when we trust God, when we believe He is good, even when life doesn't seem like it is, that's the faith that delights Him. God's not asking for perfection because we can never be perfect. He's asking for trust because faith says, God, I don't understand it, but I still trust that you are working everything for the good. And that's what pleases Him. The second verse I want to dig into is Colossians 1:10. So that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and please Him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work, growing in the knowledge of God. So, Paul wrote this from the prison cell. He's telling believers don't just say you know God, live in a way that reflects Him. What does that mean? So, the Greek word for worthy is axios, meaning of equal weight. In other words, let your actions carry the same weight as your words. Pleasing God isn't passive, it's productive. It's not about earning His love, He has already given you that through grace. It's about responding to His love with obedience, humility, and consistency. Ask yourself, does your life reflect what you believe? Does your habits show fruit, kindness, patience, and forgiveness? Because when we live like that, Paul says we please God in every way. Let's look at Matthew 3:17. This is one of my favorite verses. And a voice from heaven said, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." These are the Father's words over Jesus. Before he even performed a single miracle, before he preached a single sermon, before he went to the cross, before anything. Think about that. God declared his pleasure before anything that Jesus did. The Greek word that I want to look at over here is eudokeo, means to take delight, to express satisfaction. In Hebrew, the root also comes from hafiz, means to desire or to take pleasure in something precious. So when God said, "This is my son, in whom I am well pleased," he was saying, I delight in him because he is mine. And that's the heart of it. God's pleasure starts with relationship. Let me ask you something. Does your spouse and kids want things from you or do they want a relationship from you? Which one do you think pleases them more? Which one do you think they're looking for the most from you? Let me also add this. I'm sure you love your children, but wouldn't it please you more if they had a better relationship with you, followed your instructions, listened to what you said? Would that please you more, regardless of how much you love them or not? In the same way, your Father in heaven is looking for exactly that kind of a relationship with you and the rest of His children. God is pleased with you when you walk with Him, when you obey Him, when your heart desires His will. Note it, His will, not desire the worldly ways or conform to the patterns of culture, whether it's American culture, Indian culture, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is kingdom culture. You are not perfect, and God doesn't expect you to be perfect. He expects you to live a life submitted to His will. Sometimes we try so hard to earn God's approval, but the truth is, His delight just starts with a simple surrender. So here's a question for the week. Are you just okay with God, or are you living in a way that pleases Him? Do you trust in Him when you can't see the outcome, when you don't know what is next, when you don't see solutions? Do your actions carry the same weight as your words? Are you walking in faith and obedience? God's love accepts you just as you are, sure, but His pleasure calls you to grow, to walk in faith, to bear fruit, and to reflect His heart. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to reflect, pray, and ask, Lord, help me live in a way that brings you joy. Thank you for joining me on the Hard Truth Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, keep walking in truth, keep fighting the good fight, and never settle for just being okay with God.